shadow. $5. I don't pay you anything if you don't get it. Alright. Rally ball. If I miss, it doesn't count. And if you don't want to hit it for some reason, it doesn't count. No. I feel you, Sam. Yeah, right, here we go.
Hit it.
You caught it,
There. Better.
Yeah.
Got it.
$5.
That's 5.
Good shit.
Yeah, she's 15.
I like the hobo trip. Yeah, I don't like that one.
No.
$15. No. I think we switch sides.
Who was also in his first final. So that made it a little bit easier. So I don't exactly know what he was going through, but I do know that it is a little nerve-wracking being in a final, and so it is tough.
Sam, I know you had 2 wins on clay last year, but does it seem to you like it's been that long that you haven't won since beating Murray here 2 years ago? I mean, in your mind, with everything that you've gone through, does it seem like that long of a stretch of time, like you've just been anxious to I got to get back and I got to get a win?
Yeah, it feels like it's been a long time, and it feels great to get back there in the winner's circle, and I feel like I'm playing great. I feel like I'm playing at a top 20 level, and I'm looking forward to DC. I hope I can go there and catch another title.
When things are going so easy, Sam, how do you avoid just kind of starting to think about what you're going to do for dinner tonight? Or
It's tough. Sometimes it's almost tougher, being up 6-0, 3-0, because at one point you're going to face somewhat of a tough time. Ricardis is too good to just, cruise him off the court, 6-0, 6-1. And so, there were a couple tough points in there, and, if he wins one of those points, all of a sudden you're back on serve, and it's almost like a 50-50 match again. So I did a really good job of focusing on all the big points, on all the break points for him, all the break points for me, and came up with some big serves, some good forehands, and so, I just kept my foot down on the pedal and played solid on the break points that I saved.
You've never played him before, and you mentioned that you knew something about his game. What was the scouting report on him, and how did it look? How did it pan out during the match?
The scouting report that I got was, he's a small guy, but pops in the serve. He's got a big first serve. But, looking during the week, his first serve percentage wasn't very high. It was around 50%. So, I was assuming it was going to be that again, which I think it was. And second serves, he moves around the box well, but I did a good job of stepping up on the returns. And he's pretty solid on both sides. So I wanted to, I like my inside out forehand more than my inside in. So I just kind of wanted to establish that and go there. And I knew he was probably going to be a little nervous because it was being in his first final. And so, I just wanted to make him play on those big points and make him earn them if it was a big point.
How does this title compare to the 2010 title that you won?
They're both Feel the same. You know, a title's a title. It's great. 2010 was exciting just because it was Andy Murray. It was my, you know, the highest ranked opponent that I'd ever beaten. So that was kind of fun. But this one feels good too, just because I haven't won a tournament in 2 years, and so it's nice to be back in the winner's circle. So it's two different feelings, but they're equally as nice.
You know, a few years ago, you lost a match and admitted afterwards that you just weren't that into it. And even Patrick McEnroe suggested when your sort of injuries came that tennis maybe had gotten a bit stale for you, and that the absence of tennis might actually benefit you in the long run. Is there any truth to that? Did that happen in the last couple of years at all?
I mean, not really. There might be a little bit of truth to it, but you know, last summer I was definitely bummed to miss all the summer. You know, it's my favorite time to play, and so it was tough to watch all my friends, you know, on TV every week playing LA and DC and Atlanta and the U.S. Open, and so I was definitely missing it. So you know, I've got a full-time, you know, chiropractor and sports physio with me this week and throughout the summer, and at Queens and at Wimbledon. And it's making a huge difference. So I'm really taking care of my body, making sure I don't have to have another absence. And you know, I did miss it, but I no more than, you know, it didn't make me want to play any more than when I'm playing all the time.
So talk about the height advantage that you have and how that comes into play in a match like this. I asked him, and you know, the obvious first serve thing comes into play, but strategy-wise, what can you do differently because you know you just have the power and the height over him?
Yeah, I mean, first serve, obviously, like you said, at ground strokes, I feel like a lot of times I was hitting like kind of a high, heavy looper that would land deep in the court, and he would have a little trouble with it, and I'd get a short ball. So I thought that was really helping me. Other guys, you know, might be up in their strike zone, but I feel like it was getting up on him a little bit, and then I'd get a short one. And, you know, other than that, on his serve, too, his first serve percentage was a little low. And part of that, you know, it's much easier for me to have a higher first serve percentage than him.
I was going to say, as taller as you are than most guys, or a lot of guys out there anyway, when you're walking out with him, I mean, it was obvious.
Yeah.
Do you look like, wow, I better win a match like this? Or how do you, I mean, what do you feel like it's not?
No, I mean, not really. I mean, I knew I was, you know, kind of the favorite going in, but there's a lot of, you know, David Ferrer's, Davydenko's, guys, smaller guys that, you know, they don't have huge serves, but they make up for it with, you know, their speed and their ground strokes. So, you know, guys, you know, I'm tall, my pros are my serve, my forehand. The shorter guys, they pride themselves on speed and craftiness, and so they've got pros and cons both ways.
You were a top 20 guy before the injuries came. That was always mentioned as one of the top American players to watch. Then, during your absence, last year the talk was Marty Fish and the emergence of Ryan Harrison and Donald Young. Where did you feel that did you feel a little bit like the forgotten man at all? And where do you feel like you fit into this whole group of American players right now?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, part of it was I wasn't even there, so, you know, there was no one, you know, that could talk about me without me there. But I feel like I'm right back in the mix with Andy, John, Marty, Ryan. You know, hopefully I'd love to play Davis Cup later in the year. I'd love to keep going this summer and hopefully win some more tournaments or make some, you know, an advancement in my ranking, get seated at the U.S. Open and feel like I'm one of those top Americans that people are talking about and people feel like, you know, I've got a shot to win the U.S. Open.
Where are you going to play between now and the Open?
I mean, I'm planning on playing D.C., Toronto, Cincinnati, and Winston-Salem. So as of right now, I'm playing all those.
Sam, along the lines of what you said, if you know, beating Murray there or winning Queens, if that was what might have been like in terms of the best level that you were playing at, can you compare? I mean, not just in terms of, you know, the ranking and where you fit in with the Americans, just your feeling on how you think your game is in comparison to where you thought it was the best in your career, or is it the best right now? I don't know.
I feel like I'm playing better than I've ever played. I feel like this is the best I've played. I feel like I'm playing at a top 20 level. I feel like even when I was ranked 17, I might not be ranked that now, but I feel like I'm doing things better now than what I was doing then. And so I think if I keep it up, my ranking could even go higher than 17.
How long did it take you to sort of gain confidence to let it go with the elbow? In terms of that, was there a certain point that you really felt like fully healthy? Where you didn't even think about it?
I mean, I came back 3 or 4 months later, and then when that first kind of tournament I came back, it took me 3 or 4 tournaments to fully touch the elbow with the serve. I think, and then it probably wasn't until 6 months later that everything started to feel really good again, and I was starting to get some confidence.
Did you watch the Olympics at all, and in these first few days? And was that a goal for you to come back? Like, how much of a disappointment maybe was that to not get back in time, just in time to make that ranking cutoff?
Yeah, I've been watching the Olympics a little bit when I wake up. Today was a rain delay, but I was watching my buddies play, and it wasn't a huge goal. I wanted to play, but even if I would have made the team, I opted at the beginning of the year to not go. I wanted to play here in DC and focus more on my ranking and getting my ranking back up than go play in the Olympics. It felt like at the point of my life and the ranking and kind of what had happened last year, I wanted to focus more on getting my ranking back up rather than go to the Olympics.
As far as from the outside looking in, the ceiling of tennis right now with Djokovic and Nadal and Federer, it seems like almost like a cement ceiling. From being, as a player that's, like you said, a top 20 guy, does it feel like that, or do you feel like you're close to that level?
No, I mean, those guys have Murray too. They've definitely separated themselves from everyone else.